What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Welcome back. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is your review for Marrying Millions, season 1, episode. What episode are we on? Episode 5, I think. Oh no, episode 7. Oh, we've come a long way. So we're on episode 7, season 1. So let's go ahead and run through it, y'all. So we have Bree and Bill. So they are down in Miami, and Bill is working a lot. Bree is by herself. She don't have any friends, any family. She's feeling isolated. She's feeling alone. And so her mother's like, you need to get out. You know, you need to meet some people. And so she said, well, I did meet somebody down to the juice bar. And, we kind of talked and exchanged numbers and everything. And she said, well, give her a call. Like, you know, go out. You've got to get to know some people. You've got to, because she said all she been doing is walking the dogs, honey. And either she been walking the dogs by herself or walking the dogs with Bill. But that's all she been doing. So she ends up going out with her friends. Now, here's the thing. I'm not mad at you for going out, Bree. I ain't mad at all. I think that you absolutely have the right to go out with your friends. Like, you absolutely should go out with your friends. But here's the problem. The problem with you going out with your friends is the Bill started calling and you wasn't answering the phone. You was sending his ass a voicemail. You was blank. You were curbing him. And the thing is this. In any relationship, regardless of an old man, young woman, people of the same age group, whatever, if my man is hanging out with his friends and I'm calling him and he's constantly sending me to voicemail and not responding, we got a problem. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna blow you up all night. But I feel like the reason why he kept calling is because you didn't answer the phone. I feel like if you had answered the phone and said, hey, Bill, I'm still out with my friends. We're having a good time. I'll be home in a couple of hours. I feel like he might have been all right. But the fact that y'all were in a new city, he knows you don't really know that many people, and you're hanging out. I feel like some of that, not all of it. Let me be honest, not all of it. But I feel like some of that was the fact that was just a little disrespectful. Now, on the flip side, so she ends up coming home that night, and Bill said to her, the next morning, she came home at probably 2, 3 in the morning drunk. She was getting drunk. Now, she was drunk. And so he's talking to her about it, and he was like, I really didn't appreciate the fact that you didn't answer my phone calls. Like, that was a little disrespectful. Like, I was calling you, you didn't answer. Now, he said that he feels some kind of way because that was the problem he went through with his ex. Now, I don't know if he was talking about his ex-wife or if he was just talking about an ex, you know what I'm saying? But, like, one of his ex-girlfriends. But he said that was the issue for him, excuse me, because he went through that before with him going out. With her going out and him being up all night waiting for her or whatever. So, I think it's a twofold thing. I think that one, it was disrespectful for her not to call, not to answer his phone calls. But I also think that he was sort of already feeling some kind of way because of the situation that he went through with the girlfriend, with the prior relationship. But like I said, I don't know if she was talking about wife or girlfriend. But because of a prior relationship, I feel like he was feeling some kind of way. So there's that. So that was them, child. Shawn and Megan. Listen. Shawn and Megan, that's the couple that the daddy want him to get the prenup. Megan is like, why do we need a prenup? We've been together all these years. We have a kid together. Like, this isn't, our marriage isn't a contract. Why, why do we have to go through this? I love you. I love you. We have a good relationship. It's me and you. And so she talks to a friend of hers, and her friend was like, listen, I understand how you feel about the prenup, but you need to, she said, but you can go talk to the lawyer, and then you can get some things put in that you want to get put in. Like I said, get some clauses put in that you want them to get put in. And she was just like, well, I guess so. So they end up going to the lawyer, and the lawyer was like, excuse me, y'all. The lawyer was like, I've talked to Shawn's father, and basically, from the conversation I had with Shawn's father, this is a non-negotiable. Like, if Shawn doesn't sign this prenup, it's going to be a problem. And Shawn was like, I'm worried that if we don't get this prenup done, he's going to cut me off. Like, we know that he said that his father cut him off in the past. Now, Megan is insistent, and she ends up talking him out of the prenup. right? They end up leaving the lawyer's office, and she ends up. He's like, yeah, you're right. I'll talk to my father. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, okay. We're gonna see how long that lasts. When Daddy says, okay, well, credit cards cut off, bruh. You figure it out how you gonna pay them bills the best way you know how you gonna pay them bills. You gonna pay for that G-Wagon. Let me know how that work out for you. And um the producer asked Shawn, well, do you even want to get married? And he was like, no. He said, this is what Megan want. I love her, so I'm doing what she wants. So I was just like, see, that's a whole nother issue. He don't even want to get married. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't even want to get married. So, child, we gonna see. Yeah. Hold on, y'all. So we have Shawn and it's two Shawns. So we have Shawn and his girlfriend. That's the one that's the artist. And so we saw her go out with her friend. And her friend was like, they went to the New Year's Eve party where he was performing and he had the money gun and everything. And she was like, yeah, I feel some kind of way. Like, I don't know what's really going on with Shawn because he had that whole money gun, but he had fake money coming out the money gun. And if he's supposed to be so rich and he's supposed to have so much going on, I don't understand how, why he couldn't have real money in the money gun. And the girlfriend was like, I got real money. Like, it was real $100 bills, but it looks like he had real $100 bills mixed up with fake money, which I ain't even mad at him about. Like, just because he got money don't mean he got to give his money away. Like, I get the whole purpose of the money gun is to really have money in it. But if it was real money mixed in with fake money and some people got real money and some people didn't, that's part of the whole thing. Like, okay, you got to, see what you really got going on. But the friend was like, if he's lying about that, what else is he fake about? If he's giving out fake money, what else is he fake about? So then she starts asking her all these questions about, well, what does he really do? What are his businesses? What do you know about his businesses? How are his businesses broken down? How does it work? And her friend was feeling some kind of way, but I feel like what the friend should have done was told her mind her business. Like, that's not your business. Like, listen, I invited you to come see my boyfriend perform. Either you liked the performance or you didn't. But at the end of the day, he is my man. And I'm going to need you to go sit down somewhere and chill out because you're doing the most right now. Like, I really feel like that's what she should have said to her. But instead, what she did was she went over to boyfriend's house. They had dinner. She said that he'd been busy lately and they haven't really spent a lot of time together. And so she really wanted they go out to nice dinners and stuff. But ultimately, she really just likes their alone time. She's like, I love going by, picking up some fast food, and then us just having dinner. So that's what they did. They were having some little fast food. And she brings it up and she starts talking to him about what her friend said and how her friend was questioning whether he was really who he claims to be and all of this stuff. And I'm sitting here like, why would you even take that to him? And so he told her, he was like, okay, well, I really don't care about what she thinks. Like, I'm real. He was like, you got real money, right? And you know what's good over here. So honestly, no disrespect to your friend, but I really don't care what she thinks. This ain't her situation. This ain't her relationship. Like, I know you're not questioning me. And she was like, no, I'm not. But, she just, well, then we ain't worried about it. And I feel the same way. Like, girl, don't let your friends get in your head. She just wish she had what you had, girl. Because, again, for her to be judging him because he had fake money in the money gun, mind you, it was real money in there. It was just mixed up. Girl, you better go sit down somewhere, child. All right. I'm going to do them last. I'm going to do Jitsi and Brian last. So, Drew and Rosie, they're engaged. They're back in Ohio. They're trying to plan their wedding. And Drew was like, well, let me ask you a question. Do you really think anybody from your family is coming to the wedding? Like, have you ever told your parents you're engaged? And she was like, well, no, not yet. They haven't been really very open to this whole situation. And he was like, okay, I get that. But, how many people do you think really gonna come to this wedding? Like, if your family's not even gonna come to the wedding, I've already been married. Like, I ain't tripping. Why don't we just elope? And Rose, you can tell she doesn't want to. You can tell she really wants to have a wedding. You can tell it's a whole situation. But at the end of the day, she was like, I mean, he kind of has a point, if my parents do come, it's just going to be stressful and it's going to be a headache and it's just going to be a lot going on with the situation. So then he says, Well, listen, we don't have to like do a courthouse thing. Like we could do a destination wedding. You can still wear your gown. You can still get a really nice wedding gown, and we could do a destination wedding, and me and you can just go off to an island somewhere and just have a great time. And she was like, okay. She was kind of okay with that, but then the producers were asking her, well, do you really want to, you seem like you really want a nice wedding. And she was like, well, I did envision that, but, the situation just isn't, conducive to that. And they even asked her, I guess, about giving up, and she said, well, I am making some concessions to be with Drew, but, I really love him and he's going to take care of me the rest of my life. So, I mean, I don't mind giving up a little bit. And I was like, girl, okay. Yeah, he gonna be taking care of you the rest of your life. Okay, until the next one come along, girl. So she went to a bridal shop with her friends, and her friends basically told her the same thing. Her friends was like, listen, because those are her friends from college, and they were like, listen, we know what you want. We know you have always envisioned this beautiful, big fairy tale wedding, and you're settling for less for why? Like, okay, so if your mother and father are giving you a hard time, you have other family, you have other friends. Like, you really want a wedding, and we just don't want to see you settling if y'all, if you don't have to. Um, and so she was trying to explain to them that, you could see that she's unsure. And at the end of the day, she really does want a big wedding, but she really don't want to ruffle those feathers. And she really doesn't want to, I guess, she's felt like she got to pick her battles, and that ain't one that she's necessarily worried about making a big deal about. That's the best thing I could say about that. That's everybody. Okay. Then we have Jitsi and Brian. So Brian is ready to propose to her. He says, listen, I feel like the last couple of weeks we've been going through some ups and downs, some peaks and valleys, some ins and outs, but I feel like we're on the other side now. I feel like we're in a better place, and I'm really ready to propose to her because I really think that she's the one. So he goes to a jewelry store, and of course he starts off with rings that are like $12,000, and he ends up going all the way down to a ring that's $1,800. And he said he really only has a couple of $1,000s to spend, which is really more than I thought he probably walked in the door with. But here's where the situation gets crazy. So the jeweler is going to tell him, well, sometimes, heirlooms are better. Sometimes it's better to find an heirloom, and that might mean more, if the money is funny. Now, y'all know good and damn well that a jeweler that's really trying to sell a piece of jewelry ain't going to tell him not to buy his jewelry. He going to say, what's your price range? Let me see what we can work into that price range. Oh, you got $3,000? Okay, well, these are all the rings that we have for $3,000. And I might even negotiate that with you. Let's talk about it. You got cash? All right, let's have a conversation. But anyway, it's a TV show, child. So he ends up going outside and calling his mom and letting his mom know that he's ready to propose. And then he's like, well, do we have any like heirlooms in the family? Listen, I'm not being funny, and I know I'm really not being funny, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all, but I really feel like Brian might be like on the spectrum or something. He seems like a really nice guy, but he's real quirky. He's very, very quirky. But he basically asked his mom if they have some sort of heirloom. Now, he never said, can I use it? Can I give it to Gentil? He was just like, oh, that would be perfect. Oh, okay, that's great. It's great grandma's ring? Okay, that would be perfect. Ain't nobody say you can have it. Ain't nobody say you can have great grandma's ring. No, nobody said that. But anyway, child, he ended up proposing to. He ended up inviting Gentil to one of the construction sites. And of course she was like, oh my goodness, we're at a construction site. But he was real cute. He like had like a little picnic there, and they had like a little date, and then he got down on one knee and he proposed to her, and he explained to her, like she said yes. Before he explained about the ring, she said yes. And then he explained to her, he said, listen, I can't afford expensive diamonds like you're used to, but this is more important because this is a family heirloom that was passed down, and we could pass it down to our kids. And she said, listen, this is more important to me. Like, this means more to me than some family heirloom. I mean, than some, diamond ring. She was like, I have diamonds, but this actually means more to me. And so, and then it was really cute because, like, on the construction sign, he got it lit up that says, she said yes. And so it was really cute. And like I said, I like Brian and Jitsi. I mean, I like Brian, but I don't know if Jitsi is the answer. I'm just saying. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in those comments.